Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you are well at your home. Today I will conduct this session in the English medium because some students has English medium of IT subjects. That's why they were demanding for the English medium session. So today I decided to that I will conduct the session number 3 in the English medium. So first of all, the name of this session is the computer fundamentals. In the last session, we had covered about the I/O devices, that is input and output devices, in which we learn which type of input devices we are using in our computer, and also we know about the output. Today we will discuss about the software. A computer is made of two things, that is the software and hardware, because without software and hardware we can't do anything, so both are very crucial part for our task. If we talk about the software, then it is a collection of instructions and related data which tells us how to do the work and what to do the work. Means it gives us instruction that how to do the task and what type of task we have to do. In other words, software is a conceptual entity, which means it contains a set of instructions, set of rules, that is called the computer programs. Moreover, it has some documentation which has certain operations for the data processing system. Apart from this, if I talk about the hardware, then it is a collection of the electronic and other peripheral units. Means that things which we can touch, that is called hardware, like hard disk, mouse and keyboard. So the things which are attached with the computer, like keyboard, mouse, web camera, speaker, that is called the peripheral devices. Apart from the hardware and software, there is a one type of the software is also very important, that is called the operating system. It is the major part of the computer system. If the operating system is halt or damaged, then we cannot operate the computer. The main work of the operating system is establish the communication between the hardware devices and the software devices into the computer system. So first thing is that our computer system is divided into three units, that is input, central processing unit and output unit. In the last chapter we had read about the input unit, which gave the instruction to the processing unit. So the input unit is the enter the raw data and instruction into the computer system. After that, the central processing unit performs its operation as per as given the instruction, and the output unit produce meaningful results in the desired format for the user. So it means the central processing unit is the intermediator between the input unit and the output unit. The input unit gives some instruction to the CPU so that it process that result, and the result came into the output unit. So students, now we are going to the CPU, which is divided into three parts, which is a control unit. It is also called CU, and arithmetical logical unit, which is also called ALU, and memory unit, and this is also called MU. So dear students, if I talk about the control unit, then it is act as a receptionist and manager of a company. Like it works as a receptionist and a manager of a company. It is a just example because it receives the every and each instruction from the users and coordinate between the different parts to perform various operations. Like if it is telling about the storage of data, then CPU process it. If it is telling to the CPU for the printing the data, then it process it. After that, there is another part of the CPU, that is a arithmetic and logical unit. It is performed like a accountant of a company. For instance, like the accountant, its work is to perform the mathematical and logical calculation if he is in a company. So in the same way, so when ALU receive some task like arithmetic and logical units, then this task is performed by the ALU. All the calculations and logical function is done by the ALU. Okay students, the other part of the CPU is memory unit, which main task is storage. It store the data of the computer. Moreover, there is a block diagram of the CPU. Students, now you can see the block diagram of the CPU. There is a one side is input unit and other side is output unit, and the main processor is the between, that is called the central processing unit. So students, in the CPU you can see that there is a control unit and ALU and AMU unit, which is attached to each other, and there is also a secondary storage devices. There is a flow of data. The flow of data is one-sided and the flow of instruction is the both of sides. So if the input unit is give the instruction, then it also takes the instructions. So students, if I talk about the secondary storage devices, then it takes the large amount of data from the applications which are running in the operating system. Okay students, now we talk about the keyboard, which is the input device. It is used for the entering the data. If I talk about the keyboard, then there are number of alphabets key and the numbers like numeric 0 to 9 and alphabet A to Z. There is also some special symbols which is used for the other commands. The other input device is a mouse, which is also input device, and it is also pointing device. It has two buttons for the right click and the left click. It is used for the selecting and opening any application. So these all are devices are the input. Now if I talk about the storage devices, then there is a CD and DVD is a storage devices, because it contains the large amount of data in this. The LCD and LED is the output device, where we can see the results like visual effects and graphics there. So students, there are some examples of the input and output devices. Like if I talk about the mic, then it is used to take the audio input, and scanner is used for the digital input from a paper, picture, image or document. So students, you can see the barcode reader examples in the malls. When you go to the shopping in the malls, then your product is scanned by the barcode readers. Moreover, you can see it in the More, Easy Day and Reliance Market also. The other output devices is the printer. It is used to output on a paper. There is also output devices. When we use audio for output, then we use the speaker. Okay students, if we talk about the memory, the computer memory is divided into two components, that is a RAM and ROM. The full form of RAM is random access memory and the ROM is read-only memory. It is the most crucial part of the memory. About the RAM, then it is also called the read-write memory, because we can read and write there, and ROM is also called the non-volatile memory. The other thing is our computer systems recognize one language, that is a binary language. The form of the binary language is 0 and 1. It is the smallest unit of the storage. Students, 0 and 1 is considered as a bits. If the collection of these bits is 8, then it is also called the byte. Now we take a look on the kilobytes, which is a memory unit. The 1 kilobyte is considered as a 1024 bytes. So if the data is a 1024 bytes, then it means it's 1 KB, and megabyte is considered as a 1 MB. It is a 1024 kilobytes. As well as the gigabytes is considered as a 1024 megabytes. And terabyte is considered as a 1024 gigabytes. Dear students, what do you mean by the 1 GB? If your internet pack has a 1 GB data, it means you have a 1024 megabytes in your internet. So this is considered as a GB, MB and terabyte. So dear student, this is our session for the today, which is a computer fundamental. It is a very easy for the students because there is a basic knowledge for the computer, like how we consider the CPU in the different terms, like it is divided into the three parts like CU, MU and ALU. The other main thing is that the CPU is also called the processor. When the CPU is between the input and output, it works like a processor. So I hope students you have understand this lesson because it is a very easy. So I just conducted this lesson for the English medium students. I hope these students like this session. So students, we will meet in the next session. Bye bye, take care.